Hello, hello. Well, okay, I'm not a morning person. I actually hey there. Um, yeah, I'm not a morning person at all. Um, this morning, like the kids came into our bed and I was just kind of laying there and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to get up right now. So mornings are not our thing, not a strong suit of mine. Um, I have tried. It's just, some people just can't do it, and I'm one of them. And so, because of this, um, I just, am not, I have a very easy morning routine with the kids solely because I just cannot get myself up and moving in the morning. So, if you're like me and you just can't figure it out in the morning, then this is going to be the chat for you because that's basically all I know. Um, I've tried so hard to, I've read recently, we've been very, very sluggish in the morning. So I was doing my research, Googling best morning routines, searching on Pinterest, morning routines, and trying to find things that would work and that, tried a ton of suggestions from people. And the biggest things that I came across was one, getting up before the kids is just not a thing in our family. It's just not going to work. So, all of those, requests, all of those people saying, wake up before the kids wake up and get yourself ready. It doesn't work for us because the second I'm up, the kids know I'm up and then they're in our bedroom. Well, we have a stop thing, which I'm going to show you. That they have to stay in their room until the light is green. Because of that, even if they hear me, then they're up in their rooms, they're talking, they're shouting back and forth through the wall because this wall they share. So then they shout back and forth to each other, and it's just kind of like, what is the point? But if I stay in our bed and everybody's like quiet, then they stay quiet. So for us, I'm not recommending that. If you're a morning person, then you do that. I also cannot recommend making lunch the night before. We've tried, and the kids complain. The bread is soggy, stuff doesn't taste right. So, we've tried, and I've recommended this. Like when the kids only had to bring snacks, we would pack those the night before. That totally made sense. But now that it's lunch, and they just aren't eating as much and then they come home really grumpy, it's just not an option for us to pack the night before. It just isn't a thing that we do. So that's part of our morning routine. But how can you set up a morning routine that actually works? Well, based on a lot of reading and a lot of suggestions from people, these are the things that I've come up with. So first thing you got to do is write down exactly what needs to be done in the morning. So take your time to figure out, like, okay, in the morning we have to do all of these things. Um, Basically, for us, I'm actually going to take this. So I made this like 3 years ago, I think, and all I need to do is just kind of update some of the things for my son. This still works for my daughter. Um, and so, what the kids need to do, they have to make their beds, they have to get dressed, they have to pack their lunch, eat breakfast, pack up their backpacks, and brush their teeth, and remember their jackets. Because most mornings we forget a jacket. At least we always have remembered shoes, I think. But that's about it. So I really scaled it back to the bare minimum of what we have to do in the morning to get out the door to school. And I wrote all of that down. Then we created a visual. So this is our visual for my daughter. My son has a list because he can read, and so he thought this was a little too babyish. We created this when he was in preschool, so this worked really well, but now he wants, he just wants a list because he's like all cool and whatever. One thing that I think I am going to have him do is uh, color pictures to go with each one because he really likes to draw. So I'm going to have him decorate his list so it's, a little more personalized and it's all him. But we kept it bare minimum. We have visual supports. That's what I call these things. Anything to help them, remind them of what they have to do. Even if it is just a list, oh, you have to do these things, teach them how to make a check mark next to it, teach them how to make an X, just so they can take ownership of doing all these things. So my kids do pack their lunch most days. Most. Some days, again, like I said, we're not the most like get up and go type of people. So some days I do have to pack their lunch just because we got to get moving. At tidy hour, yes, visual supports are key for anybody. Also for myself, which is my third tip, and that is to change my behavior in the morning. I made a list of my morning routine. And I wrote down in the exact order that I need to go so that I can move with the kids. This has helped so much as well. This actually, I did not read anybody say this for the parents. Everything was either like for the kids or like wake up before them, and that was like the key. And if that works for you, that's amazing. But again, it did not work for me. I cannot get up and get going in the morning. It's just not, it's not something I can do. So, to change my behavior in the morning, I created my own list, and I need to do, all of these things in this order so that I can go. And I also did kind of like time myself so I knew how long things would take. And because of that, I know, okay, like really I can stretch it until like getting out of bed at like 7:15. But then I know if I do that, then I kind of got to like move my tush so that we can get things going a little quicker. Or if I wake up a little earlier, I have a little more time to sit and enjoy my coffee. But I added in that buffer, which was so incredibly helpful. And so because I wrote it down, and because I tracked the time, I know for myself, like, this is what I have. I also have started to get the kids to track their time. It's going fine for the first grader. The kindergartner, not so much. So what we've done is the first grader knows, okay, we have to be in the car, buckled up at 8:15. So he knows this. So I'll just kind of like give him time reminders. Like, okay, we're leaving in 30 minutes. Okay, we're leaving in 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, we're leaving in 30 minutes. And then, oh, we're leaving in 10 minutes. Like, I forgot to give him the warning, but that's something he just has to figure out too. Like, he can read a clock. So, that has been helpful for my daughter. Like, what's the next thing you have to do? Okay, then she goes and does it. Okay, what's the next thing you have to do? She needs that constant prompting. My son knows all of the steps that he has to take, so he knows he has to get all of that done by 8:15. And because of that, because we kept it super simple, we have our visual supports, and I've like tracked time. That has helped so much just make things a little smoother in the morning. Now, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I can say that we are usually out the door by 8:15, which is a huge feat for us because, like I said, not a morning person. But we've found that this has been so helpful just to get moving and out the door. This visual support, I'm going to put, you guys can get it. I'm also making another one for big kids. And I also have a backpack checklist that my contributor, Sarah, created, which is amazing as well to kind of like, since packing, where's backpack? There it is. Pack your backpack. She has that printable in her cubby so she can make sure she has all of her stuff. This includes like the snow pants and the snow gear and everything for us in the Midwest because, it's going to like snow today maybe. I don't know. But we need to remember to bring all that stuff. Otherwise she can't go outside and, when your kids don't go outside, they get like super nutty. So just want to like keep everything streamlined. So the more visual supports you put in place, the better, and the easier you keep it, the better. So, like I said, I love this. You can get this, it's free. I'll put like the little link so you can, grab this backpack checklist. And once I get the new one made, my son still like I just have been writing down a list, and so I'm going to make something look a little nicer for him. And when I do, if you are on my email list, you get notices of all the new freebies. So I want you to get that, and it's free, and you can download it, use it as much as you want for all the kids, and it'll be great. So I did have a couple of questions. Let me scroll back. Okay, here Rebecca said loves lists. You made a checklist for each kid, laminated it, and then they use a dry erase marker to check it off. I love that. That is perfect too. I mean, honestly, you can use a laminator. You can also like go to, if you don't have a laminator, um, you can go Staples. Well, they have laminate, so you can like print off a whole bunch of things, or just bring in like a white piece of paper and laminate it, or bring in like a few, and then you have all of that. And I think like for like a sheet, they get like 3 across or whatever, it's really not that expensive. And then you have like laminated paper. I love that idea. I think that's so smart. Um, yes, and my mother commented that she really loves lists. She is ridiculous about lists. Yes, you are, Mom. Um, and then, okay, so for after school and stuff, that's a different conversation and a different topic. Right now, we were just talking about morning routines. And so, um, yes, it is super helpful. And I mean, seriously, you can get as like creative or as boring as you want. Oh, you can buy laminating sheets at Target. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Guys, like that is just life changing. You can get all of this laminated, which is amazing. I'm a big fan of laminating everything. I personally would recommend, like, if you're like, oh, this is a really good idea, just invest in a laminator. I mean, you can get them on Amazon for like $30, and you can use it for a lot of things. So I'm a big advocate for the laminator. I have 4, right? 4? Do I have more? No, I just have 4. I have 4 laminators, guys, because I laminate everything. So that's what you're going to do. If you are super lazy and are not a morning person, then follow these steps. Start by like keeping your routine super easy, visual supports, time track everything, and then you have to create yours so that you'll change your behavior in the morning too. That's been the biggest thing, like the follow through with keeping it all consistent. Um, I really have been trying hard to like get myself up and out the door. Most mornings, I'm fortunate that I don't have to, put on makeup and hair and everything. So I can just like throw on some sweats and like drive them to school and then come back. So that's honestly what I've been doing in order to, get us moving. But if I have to get ready, I can. I've buffered that in for myself. So, see, even organized people can be not on top of things. And I wouldn't say it's on top of things. I think, it's a different type of brain to get yourself up and moving. And some people are built that way and some people just aren't. So one more question about the adult morning routine. Okay, so for the adult morning routine, what I suggest, if you are not a morning person and you just can't get yourself up and running, to set up a schedule for yourself and just write it down and have it in your face so that you see it. You can also, I wrote down, you can set reminders on your phone. So you can set in your phone, set a reminder to go off at the time that you set. and it'll like buzz on your phone to be like, okay, brush your teeth. Yes, I do need some of those reminders in the morning because I'm just like, I don't want to move. So it'll tell you like brush, you set it up, like you tell it what to do in your steps. And so as soon as it goes off, then you're like, oh yes, I need to do this. And then, you're kind of like, and then it'll buzz again and you're like, oh, I need to get clothes on and, that kind of thing. And so, yes, this is exactly what is on my list. It is drink your lemon water, then make your coffee, then make sure that the kids pack their lunches, make sure the kids are dressed, put on some clothes, and get out the door. That's my morning routine. And I do time block it so I kind of like see how long all of those things take. Some, I'm usually like, okay, you have about this long for this and this long for that. And then if I have to, if I have to get ready or something, then I'll add that in. But most mornings I can just get the kids to school and then I can look presentable. That fun stuff. So, this and the backpack checklist I'm going to put in so you guys can grab those if you don't have them already. And if you join the email list, then I'm hoping I'll have it done by Thursday. So it'll be in your email just for you and you just get to, get it right away. The kind of like the big kid morning routine checklist. So, thank you all for hanging out, talking about kids' morning routines. Super fun. I will see you all next week. I honestly don't remember what the topic is. If you want to know and get like some little tidbits ahead of time, you can sign up for the Tuesday tips email. And it's just like, oh, I'm going live at this time on this topic and here is what I'm going to cover. Love to, share with you too. So I'll leave that as well. Let me go do my magic and I'll get you guys all set up with that. Okay, so I will see you all next week. Wait, where's my mouse?